There's a moment in motherhood when your heart swells, your mind races, and your soul whispers, "I hope I'm doing enough." For Kelly Clarkson, recently in conversation with actress Mariska Hargitay on The Kelly Clarkson Show, that moment has become almost daily. In front of cameras and behind closed doors, the 43-year-old songstress and talk show host has begun to peer deeper into her role as a mother to her 11-year-old daughter, River Rose, and she's doing it with surprising openness, letting the raw edges show. A confession that feels familiar. In the recent interview, Kelly paused, looked toward where River might be standing, and said, "I look at my daughter constantly and I'm just like, look, I'm trying my best. I know you're gonna end up in therapy one day. I don't know what for, but I'm trying my best to limit it, just like help out." In her confession, she acknowledges the inevitable, that at some point, children carry wounds or uncertainties that require healing beyond what parents alone can provide. She doesn't frame that as failure, but as a truth. Life is complex, and some burdens are bigger than we anticipate. It's disarming to hear a celebrity admit so plainly, "I'm not perfect, I'm just doing my best." That kind of candid humility resonates. We all know what it feels like to worry, to stumble, to grapple with the unknown. Growing empathy through parenthood. Kelly didn't stop at admitting vulnerability. She mused on how parenthood changes your lens to view your own parents. It is interesting too. As we get older, you understand even like if they might have been not great decisions for you. You understand them in a different light, and you become a parent. You have a little bit more empathy than you might have had in your 20s. This is a familiar passage in the parenthood journey. We inherit stories from our mothers and fathers, stories of sacrifice, imperfect choices, missteps, and love. But being a parent reopens those archives. You revisit your parents' decisions, some wise, some questionable, with knowing eyes. For Kelly, who grew up as the daughter of working-class parents in Texas and Oklahoma, that empathy may be amplified now that she's juggling fame, public pressures, family, and grief. She knows what it means to mess up and to try again. Tears, transparency, and trust. Even before this recent confession, Kelly has shared glimpses of the emotional transparency she strives for at home. During her divorce and in the years after, she has resisted the urge to shield her children from sorrow. As she once told Variety, "I think the most important thing I've learned in therapy is don't hide everything from your kids. It's okay if they see you cry, or it's okay if you've had a bad day." She aims to model vulnerability, not shame. In 90 Moments, she asks River and her son Remington, "Are you happy? If you're not, what would make you happier?" She doesn't demand perfection from them, and in return she doesn't pretend to be perfect either. That kind of relational honesty builds trust. It says, "You matter more than image. Your inner world is real. I will listen even when it hurts." A public loss, private heartache. This phase of motherhood carries extra weight for Kelly. In August 2025, her ex-husband and the father of her children, Brandon Blackstock, passed away after a private battle with cancer. She and Brandon divorced officially in 2022 after years of personal and legal strife, but the emotional ties remained. Sources close to Kelly have spoken of heartbreak, not just for herself, but for her children who lost their father. People.com. In the face of that loss, Kelly has said she's trying to stay strong for their sake, to protect them and provide roots even as the ground shifts beneath her. In this light, her admission that she may not always have the answers feels all the more human. She stands in front of loss and uncertainty and says, "I'm trying my best." Parenting the preteen, a new frontier. 11 is a precarious age. The switch from child to preteen brings curiosity, independence, mood swings, identity seeking, and often a temperamental streak. It's a time when kids begin questioning everything: rules, motives, values, fairness. It's a season when they test boundaries, sometimes ruthlessly. Kelly's confession about therapy is not meant to alarm, but to normalize the emotional complexities every child might carry, and every parent might struggle to address. She isn't predicting deficits, she's accepting the reality that some wounds run deeper than a parent can fully heal. But in acknowledging that, she also offers her best ingredients: presence, empathy, honest conversations. Some of the lessons she's evidently trying to live by, and perhaps that many parents can learn from. Admit your limitations. Pretending you're unbreakable only builds walls. Letting your kids see that you have messy edges fosters connection. Model vulnerability. Show them grief, sadness, uncertainty in age-appropriate ways. Emotions are not embarrassments. Speak with honesty, but with boundaries. Some adult matters are too heavy, but you can still say, "I'm hurting too," without oversharing. Invite their voice. Ask them how they feel. Ask what they need. Let them know their inner world matters. Don't demand perfection from yourself. Parenting is improvisational. Mistakes will happen. What matters is repair, humility, and intention. Hold hope for healing, but don't predict it. Therapy, reflection time, sometimes they enter the story. It's not a failure, it's part of the journey. A moment imagined. Kelly and River. It's 7:30 p.m. at the Clarkson home. Kelly has just finished filming a segment for her show. Her hair is slightly mussed. Her favorite mug from the kitchen, half filled with tea, awaits her on the counter. River Rose, her 11-year-old, flits into the kitchen, hair in a messy braid, eyes bright yet tired from homework. She trails a notebook in her hand. Kelly looks up. "Hey, River, how was your math test?" River shrugs with a mix of pride and uncertainty. "Okay, I got one question wrong. I don't really know why." Kelly sets her mug down. "Let's go over it together. Maybe we'll spot what went sideways. But you know, one wrong answer doesn't define you." They tilt over the notebook side by side. Kelly leans close, pointing, listening, asking. River starts to speak softly about her frustration. The question's wording, her nerves, the fear that she's just not good enough. Kelly takes a deep breath, holding both her daughter's pen and her own composure. "You know," she says quietly, "I worry sometimes that I won't get this right. How to balance your dreams, your heart, your confidence. But I promise you, I'll try. Every day. Some days I'll screw it up. I'll say the wrong thing, but I'll try." River looks up. Something flickers in her eyes, relief, perhaps, or connection. "I know, Mom," she murmurs. "I'll try too." They stay there for a breath in the quiet glow of the kitchen light, mother and daughter, two humans trying, leaning on each other in the imperfect adventure of life. Why this confession matters. Celebrities often present polished versions of life, flawless homes, perfect families, picture-ready moments. But when someone like Kelly Clarkson lets the guard down, it invites us in, reminds us we are not alone in our doubts, failings, hopes, and fears. Her words about telling River she could someday go to therapy, not as a condemnation, but as an acceptance, challenge the stigma many still feel about emotional struggles. She normalizes the idea that parts of us might always carry shadows, and that asking for help doesn't mean failure, it means humanity. Especially in a world of highlight reels, her willingness to communicate struggle, to express empathy toward her own parents, to say "I don't know" gives permission to other parents, to children, to anyone watching, to be vulnerable, to grow, to heal. What we can take home. Empathy grows with time. Kelly's reflection that parenthood gives you new eyes for your own upbringing is a powerful reminder. Many judgments soften when we've walked in those shoes. Healing takes many voices. By naming therapy not as shame but as a possibility, she opens space for children to seek their own path to wellness. Authenticity matters. Her public confession isn't just PR. It feels like a bridge. It says, "I feel messy, I am trying, and you do too." Connection, not perfection, is the goal. Parenting isn't about being flawless, it's about presence, repair, and showing up. Grief colors everything. In her loss of Brandon, Kelly embodies how motherhood continues even in heartbreak. She carries her children forward while carrying the weight of grief and models for them that vulnerability and strength can coexist. If there's one thing Kelly Clarkson's recent confession teaches us, it's that even the brightest stars carry soft places. Even those who sing loudly know silence. And in telling her daughter, and all of us, "I'm trying my best," she offers one of the most human gifts: honesty.